Good morning, students. This is the last point of this chapter, that is the plant growth indices. That means a plant growing. That indication of that there are the plant growth in the index. Okay, if there are the one index, we call it index, and there are more than two or three index, it is called as a indices. Absolute growth rate, crop growth rate, relative growth rate, and the leaf area index. Let's see first point, absolute growth rate. It is a generally used as a short form, AGR. It is the referred size of plant represent increase in its mass per unit time. Size of plant increase per unit size of plant increase in its mass per unit time. That are the AGR. AGR gives the idea of total growth per unit time. The growth is linearly. It is a quantitative growth measurement of total growth per unit time. The growth curve unable to work out the rate which organisms grow, which can then estimated increasing size that take a pace successfully. Interval, that are the major growth curve. The growth curve at a one time and the second time it is not similar, so that the growth curve it is not working at the same time. AGR changes in size per unit time. Growth rate can be measured in terms of a length or a weight. The concept of growth curve first given by the West et al. In 1925. Increase in the rate of total dry weight per plant. It aims the rate of crop growing at a whether the crop growing at faster at the rate at the slower than the normal. That means our aims, that scientist having a aim how plant are growing, the rate are faster or the rate are slower. The simplest index of per plant growth, the change in size, increase in size per unit time, most commonly applied total dry weight or the total low leaf area index of a plant. Let's AGR formula. AGR is equal to W2 minus W1 divided by T2 minus T1. Dry weight of plant at a time 1. Dry weight of plant at a time at a second time. Time 1 and time 2. That are the first parameter, AGR. Next parameter, that are CGR, crop growth rate. The dry matter accumulation per unit of a land area, that refer as a CGR. Crop growth rate refer as a to whole crop, so that they need to consider the area of ground where crop are present. Crop growth rate are measured in mass, increases the crop of biomass per unit ground area per unit time. Crop growth rate can be taking a sample at a different time interval during a growing season. Growth rate is low early stages and high at a late stages. These definition or these concepts are given by the Watson in 1952. Crop growth rate indicates simply changes in a dry matter accumulation over a period of time. This expression can be used without any assumption about the form of a growth curve. The formula can be used to compare the treatment between the and within the experiment. They can even be used. It is possible to make only two harvest. Let's see CGR. Formula is the same. The only one thing is increases by multiplication with a unit area. Next, relative growth rate, that we see in a next lecture.